Hello friends, welcome to Pyramid Yuva Shakti Daily Meditation. Thank you for joining us today. It's good to see you all again in another beautiful day. Yesterday, we had our friend Divya who danced for us. It was very nice seeing her dance and her experience, listening to the experience, the spiritual transformation, the way of doing all the spiritual works and working together as a team. It was very great listening to her. So, friends, today let us continue with this concept of soul evolution. During last two sessions, we had discussed on this topic, soul evolution, wherein we saw about how the soul is evolving, why it is evolving, how it does, and who controls it, and what are the various stages, how in various stages it is learning so many things, what kind of experiences it is getting, and what was the nature of the soul during that particular stage, and how it is transcending. So let us continue from where we have left. Let me share the screen with you, my friends. So as we had seen, similar to how the human progresses from a small baby to the old person, the same way the soul is also evolving, and these are the various stages of evolution. Initially it would be an infant soul, then a child soul or a baby soul, then becomes a young, then matured, and then comes the old soul. So this is how the soul is evolving. It is progressing only for gaining so many experiences so that its consciousness expands more and more, the awareness level increases in order to experience the richness of the soul. Because whenever we are here in this body, we all think that we are body, but the soul has got so much of power, so much of energy. It is a part of the universal consciousness. So in order to experience that universal consciousness, even when we are in the body, that is what the soul evolution is trying to enjoy, to learn more. So why is it experiencing? We had seen. And who is controlling? Nobody controls. It is all by our choice. We can decide when we can go to the next level, how fast we can learn. All these is there through our choice. And how long does it take? It takes an average 400 lifetimes to transcend from an infant soul to an old soul. Soul does not have any kind of hatred towards any lessons. It wants to learn and experience everything, so there is no skipping of anything. When we are in this human body, we tend to skip many things. We don't want to experience them. We are afraid to experience them. But as a soul, it would like to experience everything. And there are few things which will stagnate the soul's growth. And the main part of it is suicide. So when you don't want to learn something and you think that it is a great burden, and if you go for suicide, then the soul's growth is stagnated. So you have to take so much of lessons, so many other lifetimes to complete the pending ones, so that you can transcend to the next level. And definitely meditation, swadhyaya, sajjana sangatya, these three things are going to fasten the speed in which you're going to progress. It brings you great levels of awareness. So we all know those five elements: our body, mind, intellect, soul, and all that is. And how is it connected to the soul? Each level of the soul is connected to various components of this ourself. So when we are at the infant soul stage, our primary focus would be on enjoying the body, to knowing about the body, exploring the body, what all we can do with this. So mostly the body's need would be like survival. So its main focus would be about food, shelter, survival, these kind of activities. And when the soul has come to this baby soul level, the main focus would be on the mind. So where is this mind born? This mind has come from the society, family, friends, politics, from your religion, everything. So all these will start building the mind, and from the mind aspect, this baby soul will start exploring what is mind and how is it working out, and various other qualities it will start developing based on this experiences. And then and at the intellect level, so from here we will be seeing today's class. And we are also seeing in each of these five levels, again we have 7 stages. In each of these 7 stages, we will be progressing slightly so that we are ready for the next level. So it happens just the same way like how we are getting ourselves introduced into the sea. When we want to go and enjoy in that sea water, initially we put our small toe and test the waters, and then we will start comparing how the land was and how the sea water was, and then we will start exploring it, then we will start enjoying it. And then comes to a stage wherein you are put to a test whether you will be able to sustain in this stage or not, whether you are able to apply all the lessons what you have learned so far. So after this comes the mastery level, wherein you are having a great hold of all the lessons you have learned in this stage. So in infant soul we had seen like it is a newly incarnated soul, and it will start adjusting and exploring the body. And because it is an infant soul, it would be very innocent, and it does not have any kind of social understanding, so it does not mingle with many people, and it does not take responsibility for its own self. Somebody has to take care of these souls, and these souls are very much afraid of everything. They feel so insecure, and they see the world, everybody as just me, and if it is not me, it is somebody else. So it does not have this oneness consciousness or togetherness, seeing the other one as its equal self. So it will see everybody as whether it is helpful person or a dangerous person, because that would be the prime motive. So whatever you say, it will say like let's not do it because it is not going to take any kind of responsibility. And since it is incarnated newly, it would start seeing everything as kind of spirits. Like it has a belief that a tree is having a spirit, an animal is having a spirit. So they have this slight traces of memory from which it has come from. Before we are born into this earth, we are having that kind of connectedness, oneness. We are all part of it. So after we start getting incarnated here on this earth, then we will start developing this separatedness. So we wouldn't be there in this oneness. So by experiencing the separateness, we will start understanding the value of togetherness, the oneness. So that's what the main lessons are. And this soul feels very uncomfortable by being in a city or a town, so it would prefer taking birth in the place like villages where it can have a very minimal social responsibility or the social relationships, because it does not have a proper social understanding. And since these are innocent souls, they will be easily tempted to do anything what the other persons are saying, because it does not have an intelligence which will decide whether it is good or bad. And they will start seeing love in the form of lust, in the way of enjoying the body. Then when it goes to the prior baby soul, so in the baby soul level, what happens is it will start developing kind of belief patterns. They are so much involved into religions and culture. It will have some kinds of norms, customs, rules, regulations, responsibilities. Everything should be defined, and they do not usually deviate from these kind of customs and other rigid limits what they have drawn to their own self. And they will start personifying God, in the sense they do not see godliness in everything. They will start imagining that God is somebody as a person, as somebody as a person who is ruling everything. And if we do not respect God, or if we do not practice this cultures or the religious norms, then there comes a point where God will punish us. So these kind of thoughts and beliefs are getting developed in this kind of baby soul level. They do not see God as a primary creator or a great strength and energy. Rather, they see him as a person, and they also believe in evilhood. So if God is not there, then it means that some Satan is there. So the lack of God is what they call as evil, and they will start blaming others for everything. They do not take proper responsibility, and they use people for their needs. So here in this baby soul level, what happens is they start developing many karmas because of their activities and the deeds what they are doing. They will start creating many negative karmas also. So these negative karmas or other karmas what they are building to their own selves, this they have to repay, and this repayment happens after few incarnations when they are progressing from child soul to the adult soul or the mature soul. At that point of time they will start repaying it, and we had seen about this, like how they see everything. So with this, let us go to this point where we had left. So here comes like the young soul. So these young souls are those who have progressed from child soul, that is the baby soul. So what do these young souls do? What will be their primary thing? So here what happens is they are done with the enjoying and exploring the body, and they are done with adhering to the rules, customs, regulations, religion, everything. Now after being together with the group, because when we had seen the baby soul stage, there these souls would form a part of the group. The way they see everything will be like me among the others who are similar, who are akin to me. So if I am a Hindu and there are certain people who are Hindu, so I would form myself as a part of this group. So I see myself as a part of this group, and this kind of groupism would be there. But here, what happens is, what is beyond all these? So, wouldn't there be a focus towards myself? Who am I? And what am I going to do? Why don't I stand out of the crowd? Because when we had seen baby soul level, we would have seen one of their nature would be like they actually fit. They don't want to stand out. So they want to form part of something. They don't want to be distinctive. They want to be one among the group. similar to the group. But here in the young soul stage, what happens is they will start developing their individuality. They want to do something, they want to achieve something. Everybody wants to speak about them. That would be their motive. So they want to stand out, be somebody unique. So in this process, what happens is they will start developing competition. They see others as their competitors. So they want to compete with everybody. And what happens is they also try to find their strength and talent. What is their innate ability? What is the field in which they can progress? So all these kind of experiences the soul will start gaining in this young soul stage. So these souls, as I told you, like they are very ambitious and they want to be independent. They do not want the dependence on anybody else. Previously, when they were infant souls, they do not take any kind of responsibility. They always depend on somebody who can take care of them, who will be able to decide the things for them. But here in the young soul level, they are already surpassed so many lifetimes in infant and child soul level. So now when they have come to this young soul level, they have some kind of experiences. So with this experience, they start developing the intellect. So this intellect will help them to be independent, to take decisions for their own selves. So that is when they want to prove themselves, when they want to focus on themselves, they are so very ambitious. And at the same time they are also egocentric, which means they do not give importance to everybody. They are mostly like me, myself, my view is correct, only I am the top and I am great. So they do not start accepting everybody. And they always have this free will. They understand the importance of free will. Like free will is you are capable of doing anything which you want to. So you have the free will, you have the liberty to do anything you want. So this concept they start understanding at the young soul level, and they are very self-determined. And what happens is they start comparing themselves with others. Like, okay, this person is doing it at this level, I have to do something beyond this person, only then I will be able to excel. So they are so ambitious. When you're naturally very ambitious, you will start comparing with yourself with everybody else. You will see like where you are standing when you're comparing yourself with others, how far you are better than them. So here they see as me and you. Okay, I am here and you are there somebody else. But they do not understand the other person. Their only intention would be like, I am correct. My perspective is correct. I am always perfect. And whatever you do, you have to do it in my way. Because they are egocentric, they do not accept anybody. They do not understand the point of view of the other person. They believe that only their perspective, only their actions, only their words, their decisions are right. They do not embrace the perfections of other persons. So, what do these young souls mostly be? Like, since they are so ambitious and determined, they always want to do something and prove themselves in something. So, they will start taking birth wherein they will achieve something great, and they want to be in the top list. So if we see most of the actors or like dancers, sports person, or even a politics, so what happens? They always want to prove themselves, right? They always have the competition wherein their so very ambitious and they want to achieve it. They want to be one of the top persons. They want the self status. They give so much of importance to the social status. Where do they stand in the society? How much value is the society giving to them? And because of these kind of nature, here most of the souls prefer taking birth in kind of cities like wherein they have so much of competition buzz. For example, maybe the soul can take birth in a country like city like Los Angeles, wherein there is so much of competition, so much of modern life is involved, and everybody is comparing themselves with others. So that is how the buzzing kind of city, the typical city what we are living. So that would be the kind of places which the soul wants to take birth so that it can experience. The soul always chooses the environment which will cater to the needs of the development in that stage. So when I am at a young soul level, I want competition and I want to be one of a unique person. Then I will have to choose this kind of city. If I choose to live in a village, then I will not be able to prove out myself. I will not be having so much of competition. I will not be having so much of comparison. So whichever place is actually serving the purpose of that soul's lesson, there it would usually choose to take birth. And since the main focus here is on intelligence, it has created some kind of wisdom because of the previous life incarnations. It will have the strength to decide what is right and what is not right. Because when we had seen in the infant level, that soul is so naive and innocent that anybody who comes and tells it, like these kind of even mal activities are good and it can be done, it does not have the intelligence to think whether they are right or wrong and they start practicing it. But here at the young soul level, they are able to distinguish between good and bad, between right and wrong, between positive and negative. So they have this intelligence to distinguish and discriminate between what is what and what is not right. And the kind of love in this young soul level would be like a reciprocating one, where they think like, I have done this for you, so you have to do this for me. In the first stage, when we had seen at the infant level, the way they see the love would be in the form of lust, wherein they want to enjoy the body. But when the love is something which is beyond the body, which is something more than enjoying the body, it is about a sharing of a feeling, it is of the care, affection. The infant soul does not have this intelligence or the maturity to understand love from that perspective. It will only start enjoying the body. But here, at the young soul level, what happens is the progress is from body level to reciprocating love, which means it understands love in a better way. In a kind of example wherein if you see so many soldiers and army people, what would be their motive? Why would they join there in the army? It is because they feel that this country has provided me so much that even I want to contribute my love. I have to love them in turn. So that is why by joining in army, by serving the nation, I am able to help the nation. That is my expression of love towards nation. Nation has provided me so much that I want to give it back. So many of the young souls, they take birth like soldiers or army people, and here they start building their intelligence levels. And what happens is, at the point of time of the young soul, when it is in the last phases of the young soul stage, what happens is it gets a realization like, I have done so much materially. In the material world, they want to compete so much, they have done so much, they have achieved so much. So now they feel like, okay, I have done so much in this material world. But what is there beyond all these? Is there something which will enrich my soul? This concept of soul wouldn't have sunk in their mind, but now it starts getting developed. What is beyond all these? What is beyond all these achievements and ego, mind, intelligence? What is there beyond all this? So now these kinds of thoughts start arising, and that is when it will start looking forward to the next level, to its development. And another experience, what I had received was when I had gone to Dehradun along with Guruji Bhatriji, we all were staying in a place where it was a colony of Indo-Tibetan border police. So these people are part of the army, and Guruji once told, all you people, all you guys are warriors of the nation. And at the other point is, pointed towards us, towards a group of young people, young spiritual people there, and told, this set of people are all spiritual warriors, and they are all greater than what you are doing. I did not understand at that point of time. So we all think that army people are so great, we are all proud of them, they are somebody superior, they have to be respected. Of course, they have to be respected. But when you compare a person who is there in the army and a person who is teaching meditation, who do the world usually think as somebody great? Usually people think great as this army person because he's serving the nation, because he's protecting the nation. But when a person who is able to view things from the soul's perspective rather than like a comparison of the social status and the skills, but when a person is looking from the soul's perspective, what happens is this person is only serving the nation, but this person is helping everybody to gain more awareness. He is helping everybody to evolve more speedily, and he is serving the soul, and he is serving the body or the people, its nation. So when soul is something superior to your body or the mind, a person who is actually helping or evolving the soul, helping the persons to gain more awareness about the soul and teaching spirituality, naturally they are in a superior position. So that is how I understood like what was the comparison and how a person when he sees with the soul's perspective, how everything changes. What is the kind of maturity with which he actually views the world. So then comes the mature soul level. Here, what happens? Who are these mature souls? These souls have transcended from young soul to this level. So, here, what happens is in the mature soul level, they will start focusing on the inner self because so far, up to the young soul level, we had seen they were focusing on the body, they were focusing on the mind, religion, culture, politics, and then at the young soul level, they were focusing on their own strength, talent, their ability, their creativity, their love for the nation, the intelligence, politism, everything. They want to excel in all the fields in material world. But after the thirst has been quenched, they feel something is there beyond the body. So what is it? They start focusing on the inner self. So all the view which was there outside, now it has turned inward. They will start looking inward now. And while looking for inward, what happens? They naturally seek for the truth. So what is this truth? What is this universe? What is this creation? Why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? So all these kind of questions will start arising to them. And they will go for search of eternal joy. Because if I win in this match, if I am a cricketer and if I win in this match, this small victory would give me some joy, but it is not something long lasting. And if I am a politician and I have become a prime minister, so this term in which I was a prime minister, that would give me some kind of happiness and joy. But after my phase is done, what would be my intention? I wouldn't feel the same joy. So all these kind of happiness and joyfulness, what I'm experiencing is temporary. So is there anything which is not attached to this temporary things which would give me joy everlastingly, eternally? What would be that? So these kind of questions start arising and they will start searching towards that. So what happens is, what is the nature of these kind of mature souls? They will be very empathetic. They start understanding everybody, and they are very positive, very optimistic people, and they will be showering love towards everyone. The love and affection will be there in them. They will start accepting everybody, and they're very cooperative. Because in the young soul level, we had seen like they respect only their view. They do not usually cooperate with everybody. They always want to be egocentric, to show off their own things. But here, they form part of one among the group and they're very cooperative. They want to evolve together and they're very resilient in the sense they can withstand everything. So here, how the mature soul sees everything is they see everything as self and others. Even in the previous stage, they saw as me and others, but the others here they do not understand anybody. But when they are at mature soul level, what happens is they start understanding the other persons also, and they will start introspecting, which means they start going towards their own self. They will start taking up this inner journey. They have started this inner journey to search for their own self. And what happens is here these souls they start indulging in art and service. Why this art and services? Mostly when they are at the young soul level, they start choosing fields wherein they can excel and show off their talent. Like they can be a musician or they can be a cinema artist or somebody who, like a politician or a person who is a president or a leader of the religion, whoever. They just want to excel in that. They want to gain more of materialistic pride. But here, they will start searching for eternal joy, isn't it? So they will start looking forward to art because when somebody is singing or dancing, when you are there in this taking up these kind of occasional courses, you learn this art of singing and dancing, creativity, painting, or philosophy, writing books. So all these happens because we find some kind of joy in it. We do not get ourselves indulged in this kind of art uh, because of earning some kind of money. That would not be the intention or motive of a person who is learning this art. So we learn the art because we love doing it. We find some kind of pleasure, some kind of happiness and joy in learning this art. So, in search of this joy, they will start learning this art and service. And the main thing which will help towards the inner journey is meditation. So that is when the people, the souls, they will start getting into meditation. So here they start practicing meditation so that they can go more far in their inner self. And as we had discussed, like they are into art, they learn many things. And in this stage, what happens is when we are at the first three levels, infant, child, young, we would have committed so many deeds. And these deeds, due to not having so much wide maturity, some of the deeds what we had done would have hurt somebody, would have created so much of karmas. So every karma, as we had seen in law of karma, whatever we do, it comes back to us, and we have to repay to these karmas. So when these souls have entered into the mature soul level, they would start repaying. So by doing good deeds, all their bad karmas would be balanced. So now they will start balancing. Initially, their bad karmas would have been upward and their good karmas wouldn't have been much. So when they are at the mature soul level and they start journeying towards the inner self, they start performing so many good deeds. So now this will go down and the good deeds will go up, and you will start getting yourself relieved from the karma cycle. And the next thing is about this mature souls, when they have this out of body experiences, they will find it very interesting. But when the same person he is having this out of body experience when he is at a infant soul or a young soul, it would be very terrible to them. Why? Because they see themselves as their body or the mind. They do not know the concept of a soul or something beyond this body. So when they feel this out of body experience, they feel it very terrible. They will not be able to take it very easily. They would naturally be afraid of it. And when they are at the mind level or the young soul level, even if they experience it, they don't want to have it for a longer time. They feel like, when will I go back again to my body? They don't want it. They just want it for a short term. But when at the mature soul level, when they are gone little towards to their true own self, towards their own nature, when they start understanding about themselves, where they will start identifying themselves as souls rather than this body or mind. So that is when they will start actually enjoying this out of body experiences. And in this mature soul level, what happens is they take a very greater responsibility towards all their deeds. Previously, when we had seen certain levels, they do not take responsibility. At certain points, they take responsibility but not to a greater extent. But here, they take responsibility to a greater extent, and whatever they do, they will start questioning their own motives. What is the intention with which I am doing? If I am teaching to you, then what is the intention behind it? If you are listening to the class, then what is the intention behind it? So they start questioning each and every action and words of theirs. So their awareness levels are increasing and they are able to find their own faults. At the young soul level, even if they are wrong, they wouldn't accept it. That acceptance levels was not there. They would always feel that they are right. Even if somebody points out the faults in them where they are lagging, they would not be able to accept it. But at the mature soul level, they will be able to find their own fault. So without anybody pointing out, I will be able to identify the lapses in me, and I will start developing the approach wherein I can grow by learning from these faults, how I can rectify them, how better I can be, how better I can be on the next day or in the next activity. So they will start concentrating on the betterment. They will start concentrating on the learnings from these faults. That would be the maturity level of these matured souls, which was not there in the previous stages. And here, if you see this picture, it shows you this person who is reading it from this angle, he reads this number as 9, and this person who is reading it as 6. So if the same situation is provided to a young soul, what would be the kind of argument? The souls would argue saying like, my perspective is correct and yours is not. I am able to see it as 9, and if you say it as 6, I would not be able to accept it. But when the same situation comes to a mature soul level, the soul will start understanding it as, okay, from this perspective, I see it as 9, but the other soul is able to see it as 6, and both of them are true, both of them are correct. So there would be the empathy, the kind of understanding, that cooperation. They will be able to accept the views of everybody. So that is what the matured level. So that is how the matured souls are. So during the final stages of matured soul level, what happens is they would have totally understood about their own self. They have done so much of practice of meditation. They have gone so deep towards their own selves. They start viewing everything as souls. So after this phase of matured soul, what happens is they start progressing towards the next level, the old soul level. So in the old soul level, what happens is so here they start teaching. So we had seen this concept of Arihanta and Buddha. So Arihanta is a person who has done practice of meditation and he would have realized his own self. But when the Buddhahood comes, what happens is this Arihanta who has progressed to a Buddhahood would start teaching meditation to everybody, because he understands that he is a part of all that is. Once he is done with his enlightenment, he would start helping all the other persons in their path of enlightenment, and they will follow the soul path. They will know what is their soul purpose, and they will start working towards it. They will start teaching spirituality to everybody, and they are very compassionate beings. So what would be the nature of these souls are like? They're very compassionate, very loving. So whatever Patriji is teaching us now, like do not kill any animals, be very compassionate towards them, be a meditator. So read books, do Sajjana Sangatya, do meditation. All these are actually helping us to progress and transit towards these old soul levels. So what is the kind of wisdom he is giving to us? At what level he is trying to take us to? So all these will start enlightening us. And they are viewing everything in oneness consciousness. Oneness consciousness in the sense, here at the fifth level, which means the body, mind, intellect, soul, all these levels are surpassed, and they are at the stage where they see everything as part of all that is. So we had seen about the fundamental consciousness in our earlier classes also. So this fundamental consciousness is the Mula Chaitanyam, what we call. And we are all the specks of consciousness. So they start seeing everything as one, because we are all coming from the same source. You and I have the same kind of energy, and the source, nature, everything is the same. Our physical identities differ, our soul progression levels may differ, but our innate nature would be the same. And that is how these souls will start viewing everybody, and they will start searching for balance, unity, oneness in everything, and they are very, very comfortable with their own selves. They do not feel the kind of discrimination between one another. They do not compare everything with everything, which they were doing at the young soul level. They want to feel very unique, distinctive. They start comparing with somebody else. They are not at ease with their own selves. But here at the old soul level, they are very ease with their own self. They can take everything. They can accept everything because they are surrendered to their own selves. So here the way they look at everything is, as we are told, they see everybody as part of the soul fraternity, which means you and I are brothers because we are all coming from the same person. That is what the Jesus had told. Jesus had told, like, I have come and my Father is there, and me and my Father are one and the same. Which means by Father he means the Holy Spirit, the fundamental consciousness, and he is part of it, and we are all part of it. That's what his message was. And these souls, they have so much of inner calm, their inner strength. If you had seen this tornado, the environment surrounding this tornado would be very turbulent. It would be very violent with so much of force and energy inside it. But if you had observed the eye of the tornado, it would be very vacant, silent, calm. Though surrounded by so much of disturbance and violent force surrounding it, the eye would still remain very calm, very silent, very vacant. That is how these old souls are. They have so much of calmness, even though they are put in a very hustle bustle kind of environment, still they can maintain that calmness. They have that inner peace, inner calmness in any situation. So the old souls, they all follow the universal laws. They understand the law of karma, they understand the law of infinity, they understand the law of progression, they understand the law of oneness. So with these understanding, they will start practicing it also in a full-fledged way. And they do not link themselves or attach themselves to any kind of social status or cultural status. They do not discriminate by way of religion, caste, or anything because they are in that oneness level. They see everything with oneness consciousness. So they start viewing everybody as same, everybody as one, and they are very compassionate to all the animal beings, and they will start viewing everything together in the unity, and they will start teaching everybody, and they are very, very aware about their inner strength. Physically, I may not be totally strength, but I can understand my soul strength, my soul capability. So that would be the kind of awareness these old souls will be having. So now that we have seen these five souls levels, let us recap once. Infant, child, young, mature, and then comes the old soul level where they start teaching meditation and spirituality to everybody. So once they are done with their own development and they start teaching everybody, what happens is these souls transcend and they become as transcend souls, which means their lessons to be learned here on the earth is done, and they do not want to, or they don't have the necessity to take birth again in this earth. But if required, they can take the birth. It is not really necessary for their soul progression, but in order to help other souls to progress, they can choose to take the birth, or they can even choose to remain there in the higher worlds and help us astrally. Anything is possible. So, in order to evolve and understand the true essence of our own self, we are getting ourselves separated. We are in the feeling of separatedness, and gradually, by undergoing the various phases of lessons through these 5 stages or 5 soul levels, we start understanding the unity, and we start to embrace the oneness even more than what we had been before taking our incarnation. So that is how the souls are progressing, my friends. So friends, now that we have seen all these levels and understood what the soul evolution is, let us start doing meditation for a while, because meditation is increasing our awareness. It will take us deeper and deeper towards our inner self. So let us sit in meditation for next 15 minutes. For people who are new to meditation, we have to clasp our hands, put fingers into fingers, cross our feet, and start observing our normal and natural breathing. Only by observing the breath we will be able to get rid of the thoughts, because meditation is making the mind empty. The whole time the mind is keeping on chatting with so many things. It is releasing so many thoughts, thinking so much. So meditation is locking down this mind so that we can go towards our own self and taste the inner peace and inner joy. You can sit wherever you want very comfortably. In case you're wearing some specs or something, you can remove it. Make yourself very comfortable and sit in peace and observe the normal and natural breathing.
normal, natural. Taking life for me 5 minutes. Currently,
Friends, let us place both the hands on our eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly remove both your hands from your eyes and relax yourselves. So, big clap for ourselves for doing meditation regularly. Group meditation is very effective. Please do join us in meditating so that this group meditation helps us to reach that no thought state and be in the meditation for a very longer time in an effective way. Thank you so much, friends, for being with us today. Tomorrow, let us meet again at the same time, 7:30 in YouTube or in Zoom, and we will have another person in front of us who will be sharing their experience with us. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.